Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me a quick favor, see that little subscribe button at the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, click that subscribe button. Really does help our channel grow, our audience grow, and I really do appreciate it more than you know. So click that subscribe button. Appreciate your support. Now, here's the video that you came here for. Want to go ahead and get to some late breaking news. It does involve John Calipari and the Arkansas Razorbacks. So obviously, if you follow this channel, you know we've talked about Cal and Arkansas since literally that Sunday night a few weeks ago when Wes Moore broke the news that Coach Cal was going to be the new head coach at Arkansas, and we followed every twist and turn. We've talked about the coaching staff with Kenny Payne and Chin Coleman and those guys. We've talked, of course, about the early additions to the Calipari team, Big Z, of course, the three freshmen as well, Boogie Fland, Carter Knox, and most recently, Billy Richmond. Well, on Monday night, we got some big news. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was kind of out and about running errands. I was told the news would not drop until Tuesday, but apparently there was a marquee recruit who, to quote another SEC coach, didn't fully understand the assignment. That is because we were expecting it Tuesday. It is a Monday night news drop as Jonas Aidoo, 6'11" center, one of the best big men in the college basketball transfer portal, excuse me. We thought early he was going to go to Baylor, but over the last probably 36 or so hours, the buzz started to build. Arkansas might get this guy. Arkansas might be in the mix. Arkansas might be the final decision. And on Monday night, Jonas Aidoo, 6'11" center, played the last 3 years at the University of Tennessee, chooses the Arkansas Razorbacks over a final list that includes North Carolina, Alabama, and Baylor, which was perceived as the favorite coming in, to which I got to say, how about Coach Cal, another stud, this one out of the transfer portal when everyone says all he does is recruit high school guys. And with that, I just got one question for you, Arkansas fans. Can anything stop the Big Pig invasion? That's right. Can anything stop? We got the shirts right here. I'm holding it up upside down. Can anything stop the Big Pig invasion? Because in my opinion, the answer to that question is an emphatic no. By the way, as you can see at the bottom of the screen here, you can get your Big Pig invasion tees at AaronTorresOnline.com. If you ordered one recently, we had a crazy run of sales. They should be available. They should be in the mail if you've already ordered one in the next day or so. But let's go ahead and talk about Jonas Aidoo. And more importantly, let's talk about what it means for the Arkansas Razorbacks, because to me, this is big, not just because of the talent, but because it kills a very important narrative that I never believed to be accurate, but it does kill that narrative, okay? So first of all, Jonas Aidoo, as I said, one of the best players in the transfer portal, played the last 3 years at Tennessee, was a crucial cog on their Elite Eight team this year. Really talented player. We've mentioned him many times before, but a guy that really does most of his work around the rim. 11 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, close to 2 blocks per game, and really, to his credit, played some of his best games in Tennessee's biggest moments. 15-6 in the opening round win over St. Peter's in the NCAA tournament. 11-4 in a second-round win, a nail-biter against Texas. So this kid is good. This kid is experienced. And bluntly, I like how he fits with the other pieces that John Calipari has already brought in. Now, he's got more work to do, and we're going to discuss that in a minute. But I like how Jonas Aidoo fits in with the pieces that Coach Cal already has. We know that Boogie Fland is a guard. We know that, I don't know if he's a primary playmaker with the ball in his hands, but he is a guy that is going to play on the perimeter. Obviously, Billy Richmond, Carter Knox are wings. But Big Z, we know, is following Coach Cal to Arkansas. And so I just bring it up because I think Jonas Aidoo and Big Z, you talk about twin towers, 2 7-footers with SEC experience, but more importantly, 2 guys that do stuff a little bit differently. Big Z, a guy that can step out and hit threes, 38% in his freshman year at Kentucky. Now, admittedly, he certainly did not play the whole season, but when he was pressed into action, he was very good offensively. And oh, by the way, I think he's a better defender than people give him credit for. This is Big Z I'm talking about. And I don't think anybody questions how good of a defender Jonas Aidoo is. He was one of the best rim protectors in the SEC this year. And listen, as you get ready to go to war against Auburn, Alabama, Kentucky, Texas, and Oklahoma are coming in. Whoever you deem to be the best teams in the SEC, you need veteran dudes with experience. And that is why Jonas Aidoo is so freaking crucial to the Arkansas Razorbacks. Because listen, Big Z's great, but you can't go to war with just one 7-footer. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. And so now you have the opportunity to add a second 7-footer, a guy with SEC experience. You cannot, I probably shouldn't say this, you can't put a price on that, although maybe you can. But let me also say this for Coach Cal for half a second. We got to give him credit here, because this was a kid that about 2 weeks ago, I think it wasn't this past weekend, but the weekend before, he visited Baylor, and it was a foregone conclusion. It is done at Baylor. He's going, he's visiting, he's committing. It's going to be over. Coach Cal gets him on campus, and Coach Cal freaking closes, okay? So he gets one of the best big men in the portal, and like I said, I have been so impressed with what Coach Cal has done in a short amount of time. By the way, other coaches are doing other good things at other places. It's not just about Arkansas. I like what Mark Pope has done at Kentucky. This isn't about Kentucky right now, but I just bring it up to say this isn't to say that Coach Cal is perfect and every move he makes is incredible. But listen, brand new roster, starting over. I love what he has done. First off, a couple things. One, you get Jonas Aidoo when this was a hotly contested recruitment. Could have gone to Baylor. He's from Carolina. Could have gone to North Carolina. Could have stayed at Tennessee. But Coach Cal gets him on campus. Coach Cal closes the deal without letting him take any other visits and without letting Baylor kind of get their hands on him like they wanted him so badly. But two, I think this is important for a couple other reasons, and I am impressed with this rebuild on the fly for a couple of reasons. First off, you have brought in 3 guys that you really wanted from that high school class at Kentucky. And of course, Kentucky fans are going to say, oh, of course the freshmen are going to follow him. Blah, blah, blah. No. Because I was told 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, Kentucky is the brand, not Arkansas. Kentucky's the brand, not Calipari. And listen, this is not to dig into Kentucky. I think they're going to have a great team next year under Mark Pope. I really do. If that makes me unpopular with Arkansas fans, so be it. I got to tell the truth, though. But at the same time, I see all these people saying, well, of course the freshmen are going to follow him. That's not always how it works. And that's a testament to John Calipari. Players believe in him. You can like him. You cannot like him. Obviously, the NCAA tournament losses in recent years have been disappointing. Nobody is going to deny that. But elite players believe in him. Elite players believe in his vision. And essentially 3 of the 4 players that he wanted followed him to Arkansas. Now, the 4th guy, Jaden Quaintance, committed to Arizona State on Monday. I'll let you do your own inference on that. I respect Jaden Quaintance as a player. I respect his family, know the people around him a little bit. They have to do what they deem is best for them. But at the same time, it is a little bit of a different, unique, strange recruitment. And I don't think it reflects poorly on John Calipari at all that this kid does not follow him to Arkansas. So I could go on and on, but the point is you land Aidoo. You get 3 of the 4 freshmen that you really wanted. And what I think is especially important about this, that nobody is talking about, is that I have been told that the Calipari system doesn't work, that bringing in a bunch of freshmen doesn't work. Well, first off, I don't believe that, because John Calipari, the terrible coach that nobody thinks is any good, just finished second in the SEC this past year with elite freshmen. Second in the SEC in a year where we said the SEC was tougher than it's ever been. Second in the SEC in a year where in the final month of the season, won at Auburn. Really good team that won the SEC tournament. Won at Tennessee, which made the Elite Eight. Beat Alabama at home that made the Final Four. So don't tell me that Calipari, well, it doesn't matter how much talent he has. He's gonna get out coached in 90% of the games that he plays, because that's what I see all the time whenever I say anything positive about Calipari or Arkansas. Oh, he's gonna get out coached in 90% of the games he plays. Really? Did he get out coached against Rick Barnes in Knoxville on the final day of the regular season? Did he get out coached by Nate Oates when Alabama came into Rupp and got destroyed? Because that's not the way that I remember it. Bruce Pearl, you go on and on down the list. So don't sell me that he doesn't know what he's doing. But what I think is important is this. is that I've been told that Arkansas is just going to be Kentucky 2.0. He's going to bring in a bunch of freshmen. It's not going to work. It's going to be a disaster. He's going to be out in 4 years. What I think this proves, and this is important, what I think this proves to me is that Calipari, I think the reset was good for him. And I think he can kind of get his program sort of back in order again, if you will, right? Because obviously he was the one and done guy at Kentucky. It was all about the freshmen, all about the freshmen. We got to get them in. We got to get them out. We got to get them to the pros. That's who we are. Well, now in the transfer portal era, he can kind of take a step back, take a deep breath. He was able to evaluate and keep the freshmen that he wanted, minus Jaden Quaintance. But then also, I think this is important. He's proving he can recruit in the portal era. Now, a few years ago in 2021, he did go heavy in the portal year. They brought in Oscar Sheboy, Kellen Grady, whatever. But at the same time, that was by necessity. That was coming out of the COVID season when you couldn't really recruit high school players because you weren't able to evaluate in person. So this was the offseason where he kind of had to prove it isn't just about the freshmen. I can get the older players, and he gets one of the best ones available in a head-to-head battle with Scott Drew, with Hubert Davis, with Nate Oates. He gets the victory. What I think is as important, Coach Cal ain't done yet. You follow the tea leaves. I think Coach Cal is going to continue to crush in the transfer portal over the next three or 4 weeks, however long the portal goes, okay? One, he had Oklahoma State center Brandon Garrison on campus this week. Brandon Garrison, 6'11" center, Oklahoma State, monster down low. Now, a lot of people would sit there and say, well, you get Jonas Aidoo, you're not getting Brandon Garrison. I have not heard that's accurate at all. I have heard that Brandon Garrison is still very much in the mix. He traveled down to Arkansas with his entire family, or at least his close, loved ones. So this wasn't, I'm just checking it out for the sake of checking it out. By the way, I'll mention this as well. Between Calipari and Mark Pope, remember, the NCAA only allows a certain number of official visits over a 1 to 2 year period. So you're not bringing in kids that you have no chance with. So I only bring it up to very simply say, I do think that Kentucky, or that Arkansas, and I'm going to make that mistake, forgive me. I do think that Arkansas is still very much in the mix for Brandon Garrison. 6'11", former McDonald's All-American, even though they have Big Z, even though they have Jonas Aidoo. I would also tell you on top of that, listen, the rest of the portal's getting interesting. John L. Davis, we have not gotten an update on him over the last couple days. I still think Arkansas is the team to beat, at least right now. Now, this stuff changes quickly. It can, go from one to another overnight. Listen, look at, some of the other guys in the portal. It's just stuff changes so quick. But I bring it up very simply to say, I think John Calipari is going to be a factor for Brandon Garrison. I think they are absolutely a factor for John L. Davis. They get Jonas Aidoo. And obviously, look, I think they have to be deemed the favorite for DJ Wagner. So credit to John Calipari. He does what needs to be done, but picks up a major commit in Jonas Aidoo. And as I said, he ain't done. And he's proven to me right now that this guy is not afraid of the portal era. And I think he's going to find that balance between elite high school players and really good portal players as well. If you enjoyed this video, do me a quick favor. Make sure to subscribe to the Aaron Torres Pod YouTube channel. New videos, new clips going up every single day. And if you're an Arkansas fan, make sure to also follow our Torres on the Hogs Twitter account. Appreciate